I think that there was a lot of dance. There was a lot of dance everywhere, but it was never seen.
Yes.
Because it wasn't allowed to go mainstream. Certain times in certain places, certain things happen where, funding gets cut off to some of the most important things. I feel that that's something that definitely happened to the Capitol Ballet. And I think, a lot of people say, you can't blame it on being Black. Well, after being Black all my life, I can say that I really feel that that's really something that happened and continues to happen. Very few are allowed to stay.
Dissonance Dance Theatre.
Dissonance Dance Theatre.
Dissonance Dance Theatre.
Dissonance Dance Theatre.
A lot of the times when you see the shows with the dancing and stuff, most of those people are from New York, California, Florida, and we dream like that too.
Yes, Tony, and then you get right here and go, shh. Now you got Tony, go. 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 I'd rather you go and fall, and we go, that was a step. Versus get there and be safe, then we think you can't dance.
Shawn, how can I help? I will tell you.
I work 7 days a week to just do this, which to show you life, and I'm thankful that you came. I think my generation was the last one where you stayed under somebody for like 4 to 5 years. You take the beat down. It's just like an apprenticeship. You sit there and intern, you're tired of giving coffee and you're tired of doing what, but you learn. And then you step forward, you do like the lateral thing. It's the same thing in dance. But you have to crawl before you walk. It's like I had to crank out each piece in 3 rehearsals. So imagine 15 hours. And let's say you're working in law and you have this law you're working on or litigation, and you say, just imagine if I shrunk it all down into like 2 work days at 12 hours and then told you make it work. That's pretty much what we're doing. I've been around the area enough to kind of know the right people to try to make things work for other folks. It's not about me. This is also about developing the artists themselves.
So I love the diversity that's shown in Dissonance Dance Theatre. I feel like just being a part of this company fulfills a dream that I've had.
In terms of like the way a company works and how you're going to perform and how you're expected to know things, I think it's a great place to start.
I wouldn't really want to be in a space where I look like everybody else. I don't think I would have grown personally or professionally as much as I have with Dissonance. Let's see, the diversity has been, it's just opened me up to sort of like all the ideas that come from like different people, whether they're just from like the other side of the country or they have some ties to maybe international places as well. But I really just see Shawn as really a professional caring, meticulous director and choreographer, and I respect him so much.
I mean, I love Black people, DC, and the people who love me back. DC's Black dance history is rich, vast, and forever forgotten to most people. Did you know that the first dance business in DC was started in the 1930s with DC dance pioneer Bernice Hammond, who was also a Howard alum?
I just think that the most talented people on earth are Black folks. I know I'll get in trouble saying that, but
I don't know anybody who has been in this school who's not a university professor, a lawyer, a personality in the field of the arts. They are achievers. And they are people who carry themselves in a way that we would be proud of them. I think that's the heritage that God gave us, so that we would have this type of thing.
Schools like Hammond, Terrell C. Smith, and others produce dancers that dance across the globe. Then it all stopped. I founded Dissonance Dance Theatre because I was tired of seeing minimal Black dancer representation in an increasing white expanding dance sector. That was only 2007. The notion caused me a host of experiences, good and bad. Trust me, there have been many issues of bias, racism, discrimination to count. Seeing my face, this face, as the founding head of a ballet company in this area, visually represented a new change in the DC area. I just believe that equity would truly happen through and by us.
Okay, so going back to so
one, don't let your standing leg cheat you by turning it all the way in, and then you're trying to return it back out as your leg goes to the front. So if you have limited, put your foot down. If you have if you have a limited rotation in your period, then it is best for you to work within a specific. If this is 90, then you're on a 45. Then work in that so that we at least know that it's not completely turned in. If you do this and this, then we're going, The only time that's cute is when you want to peek your arabesque. Because then we know, like, well, it'd be nice if you rotate it, but we know, of course, you're on the rocks. So find your timing back. It's on Tony there yet. And then from there, I want you to keep the arms where they were, wherever they were. Okay, and then pull your navel in as you bring your pelvis forward to stand on top of your standing leg. Unlock your knee if you have it. And then from there, just go ahead and bend the knee, which is on the floor. You're just doing this. You're just doing this. And then I just want you to go from here back out to the A set. It's on the floor. What I want you to do, so think about where your back is now. Turn out your standing leg more. And pull your side arm more. Okay, so now from there, your weight should be on that standing leg. Unlock your standing knee. Right, stand on your leg. So now bend the knee slightly as you bring it through, and it should be that heel should be going forward as you rotate. No blame because your back swaying. So just walk yourself through it. Because if you can't do it on the floor, that's why it looks a mess in the air.
Dissonance Dance Theatre's founder, Shawn Short, grew up in Prince George's County, Maryland, a suburb of Washington, D.C., in the township of Glenarden. Born to South Carolinian parents, he grew up as the only birth child to his mother once she remarried, the fourth to his stepfather.
This is Shawn Short, with the shortest of short.
Are the smiles I left behind, smiles we give to one another for the way we were.
An active and artistic child, Shawn was a musician and dancer, starting his ballet training through a work-study position he gained at Starting Point, a small College Park dance studio under the direction of Sharon Worth, down the street from the University of Maryland. He initially studied with Adrian Vincent James, the first African-American dancer to perform with the Houston Ballet.
I originally started my dance training by imitating choreography from music videos by Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, and Paula Abdul. It was the 90s. Jazz dance led me to choreograph for school groups. College led me to study with former modern dancers of Martha Graham, Eric Hawkins, and Merce Cunningham.
So much passion in that room to really create some disruption in the space and start creating our own. And so I had that, and so and to really tell our stories through our own lens and how important that is to do that, and how we're inviting these leaders into the institution and into our life. And supporting us and advocating for us and pushing us, it really helped me to become much more clear on what was my purpose, or what was I here to do, really. And so after that meeting, and then Shawn and I, we had long conversations and multiple discussions before Dissonance was created to really inspire this energy around, leading and creating. And in a couple of years thereafter, graduating from Howard University, moving on, doing our own thing, we came together in 2007 and the rest is history.
After completing his bachelor's in musical theatre from Howard University and his short time touring professionally, Shawn became founding faculty at Washington Ballet's newest project, Washington Ballet at the Arc, its Southeast educational campus. But Short saw a greater vision for himself.
Keon would give me car rides from the Washington Ballet at the Arc in Southeast, or the Southeast campus, to Northwest, so I could catch the subway to my next job. One car ride, he mentioned that I should further my understanding of ballet pedagogy and truly give back to my community in a deeper way. He saw my commitment I had to dance, but I believe he saw how limiting my opportunities were for me at the time. So a company was born. I wanted to break through what I called the norm, and start something that was fresh, that wasn't harmonious with what I saw in DC at the time. And there wasn't much that looked like me at the time. Dissonance Dance Theatre was a fitting name. I wanted to, cause discord or break away. I envisioned a contemporary ballet company, but I knew that would take time. A Howard alum once told me it was going to take 10 years for me to see the goal start to look like the dream. So I started with what I had. I had a group of friends and artists who supported the vision, and with their help, it began.
Right through here. Those muscles was helping me pull my knee back to be able to find back. If I release this knee, it will pull forward, and then you guys start doing this.
Not the knee, right? It's the internal rotator. If it's the knee, then we'll just return that from the knee.
No, you would collapse. But when you palm down turn, it's like palm down scoot. Oh my God.
What is that palm down?
You just did do it again. Palm down.
It felt more easy. It's like slow.
Now you ain't palm down. You just said up. Palm down. See how his hands, the more your hands don't touch, the body is still active, so you're gonna keep spinning.
DDT is an institution that is taught and operated by an actual pedagogue with an incomparable understanding of the dance world and its sub-communities. Dissonance is an institution that doesn't stroke the dancer's ego, in my experience. The institution gives dancers an adequate amount of training in classes weekly, 25 plus hours at minimum, while delivering professional experiences to its students and company members. DDT focuses not only on the technical elements of dance, but also the theatrical components of storytelling, the technical components of backstage. Dissonance gives its dancers multiple realms of opportunity to work behind the scenes and develop skills outside of just performance, because we acknowledge that a physical dance career, just like all things in life, can't last forever. So there's definitely a component that it is an investment in developing the whole dancer.
Dissonance Dance Theatre was dreamed of and supported by a young group of black men, all friends and acquaintances of Shawn. Shorts knew he needed a team to start his vision of a nationally known dance company. He reached into his diverse network of young professionals to lay DDT's foundation. Tyler Lewis, social justice and communication professional. Culture shock dancer Carlin Russell Williams. Howard University alumnus and friend Jonathan Carrington and Shawn combined their talents to make DDT's first production successful as part of the 2007 Capitol Fringe Festival.
DC's dance scene at the time was primarily modern dance. There are a large amount of college dance programs also in the area, and all of them are modern dance focused. Ballet companies make up less than 5% in the area. It was interesting to me to see that many of the reviews for white-managed dance companies, were deemed artistically acceptable and capable. But my work, or the work of the company, couldn't be considered with that merit. Maybe it was because several of the dance reviewers at the time were also dancers in those particular white-managed companies. Who's to say?
Five, 6, 7. Let's do 7. This one goes back. 7. Pull the leg around, around the arm. Cut this arm. Oh, here it comes. So, but when you get it, I'm just doing it to my hand that's supposed to be down. Sorry.
Oh.
So it's one of these. Is that?
Oh,
yes.
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 He got that.
Yes.
Located at 916 G Street Northwest, Flashpoint DC was managed and operated by Cultural DC. Housing a theater, art gallery, and dance studio, Flashpoint came into existence during a great deal of new DC Arts organizational expansion, supporting emerging and established companies such as Dance Institute of Washington and Step Africa. Flashpoint DC provided Dissonance Dance Theatre with a stable home to develop itself.
So I was with DDT back in 2009, back when the company was actually in its baby stages. And I have to say, like, my memories there were just incredible. I was always so impressed with Shawn Short's resilience, with his knowledge, his passion, and even, his vision. The auditions, the audition was brutal, and rehearsals were even more brutal. And I have to say, I wouldn't change or trade that experience for the world.
Thank you.
It was a little crowded, so bear with us.
But that audition, I distinctly remember auditioning for this company. And there were so many different types of talent, although contemporary ballet, they were just straight modern dancers, just straight ballerinas. So not even just diversity with race, but diversity of movement. And I was honestly grateful to be selected to be in the company because I know that my movement is a little bit different. You know, it's a little bit different. But Shawn is the one who kind of like coined or kind of like labeled what it is that I bring to the table. He would describe me as an emoter. And that's something that once he showed me what that was, I've been able to expand on that, because that, honestly, I understand what he's saying. That is my gift. I am an emoter. So thank you, Shawn. Thank you for allowing me to understand what that was. Maybe I'm not a technician, but I can make you cry. But it's the, like I said, so it's the diversity of movement, but also with the races, you know, and just the color of your skin. So being a dancer in the DC area, and also being an African-American woman and as a dancer in the DC area, honestly, there isn't much for us there. And it is not that you want to bang down the door to get in. You want to feel the appeal. You know, you want to feel like you're wanted, and you want to feel like you are welcome. And this is a place where you can, you know, be safe to grow. And that's very, very, very important.
I remember once after a Dissonance Dance Theatre audition, I asked a white ballerina how she thought she did. She replied, "I didn't do so well because I'm more of a classical ballet dancer." I took that as a slight, and here's why. If you train for more than 10 years and you still can't grasp new balletic variations of partnering, turns, balances, and jumps with emotional intent, then you are not a strong classical, you know, ballet dancer. Like, Stevie Guillaume went from variations and older ballet works to Mats Ek, you know, repertoire, and did it superbly. Like Maria Kochakova, you know, can do a fairies variation and do the work of David Dawson. You know, so I mean, it's the dancer auditioning couldn't or didn't want to do the work, you know, presented. You know, sometimes I think that, you know, dancers come to audition thinking, you know, because I am Black, that it's going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be really easy, you know, like a walk in the park. No.
When I started with the company, we were rehearsing in a really, really small rehearsal space. It was really so much fun. Back then, there were so many of us who just dedicated our lives to dance, and we wanted to be there so badly. And we would do everything we could to make sure that everything we were putting forth for DDT was to the best of our abilities.
Two, quickly, yeah. And then,
I remember back in probably 2009 or 2010, DC at the time was really a dance culture of either ballet, modern, or hip hop. There really wasn't a leading DC company that fused ballet modern technique together. So one thing I really liked about DDT was the diversity the company brought to the city. As dancers, we also came from a variety of backgrounds, and I think that really helped mold the culture of the company. I think Shawn was an amazing director, and he had the ability to pull a bunch of different styles together to create one unique, cohesive group. It was really fun to be able to do a lot of different dance styles. And also I thought it was really neat that we really didn't have a specific body type when we were dancing. You know, you have your traditional ballet companies and everyone looks a similar way, but in DDT, you really are seeing a lot of different sides of dancers, different body types, different styles, different movements.
The larger Black dance community I came from didn't support Dissonance Dance Theatre. the vision of it or myself.
All right, so ending pose. Then went dark.
Yeah,
Lights,
goes
legs
dark.
down. Don't crush his nuts. All right, pull up. So you guys just, woman, grab hands. So you're there, woman, go forward. Take your bow. Take your bow. Where's women? All you on this one side? Yes. Okay, good. So all you run up into one line.
The community was fragmented, with Black dancers and directors mostly working on the community, outreach level with, youth, children, and education projects, but never on a professional level with adults, or projects funded with a substantial budget.
Change, things shift. Remember, a scene has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Ride the emotional roller coaster. Do not get caught up in things. Use mindset. Repeat what someone said.
Have your kids been coming home talking about they're sore, or coming home sleeping the whole night? Kid come home, go to sleep at 7 o'clock, wake up at 7. Yeah, still complaining about it. They got a dance teacher, his name is Shawn. I wanted to introduce him. So you won't blame me for it. They get good work, they get good exercise, and they sleep on. Well, I guess you probably don't have any. Shawn, could you please come up and just say a few words?
Hi.
I'm Shawn Short, the senior musical theater major at Howard University. I'm their dance instructor. What I try to give them is a core of ballet and concert dance. The world of hip hop, dancers forget that there's a core and there's a structure to it. So I try to give that to them as well as your community as well. And each this song was the case of concert dance, similar to Alvin Ailey and Dancing of Harlem. And it's been a pleasure. This is my second summer, and I look forward to the next one. Thank you.
My former teachers and the company director just wanted me to continue to do their work, but they didn't see the vision that I saw for DC. I wanted to dance nationally and internationally. A company that was, truly, developing artists and increasing the number of professional dancers, especially of color, that were working in the DC area and beyond.
You have to be strong. You have to be, really exquisite in the point shoes in order to do Shawn's work.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1, 2 and 3. So now you have to go push, push.
Being a female in the space, Shawn pushes us a whole lot. More than I expected when I first started at Dissonance. When he choreographs, we're always pushed to our limit. Each new work that he comes up with, we're always doing more and more. It's amazing how much we can go past.
Well, how do you get into the first one? Okay, just do it. Just keep going until I see what you are. So when you finish your first one, don't overdo your sternum because then you can't get back. So just think of it as release, and then the last one will be the one with your embellishment. Release. Put it down, and then from here, give me this leg. Issue with this. Relax your lower back. Right. Exhale. Think out. Think out. And exhale. Each of these are exhales. Jesus Christ.
5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6, and a 1, and a 2, and 3, 4, and 5.
From previous, all very classical ballet spaces where everything is very, posed and pristine, and you go on, you do this one variation or one, phrase, you could say, and then you're off. That's not what we do here. When we dance with Shawn, we are beaten the whole piece. And so we just dance a whole lot more. We're pushed to our limit every single time we're on stage.
5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wait, your arms different. Is it this? 3 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Right. Much cleaner. Right, now you can move to get to where you have to go. Press. No, not pull. Press. Release. Okay. 2. Push. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shots it back. 3, 4, and 6, and 8, and 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. All right. 1, 2, 3. That's it. One, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8. Correct. 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, and up. Stretch out. There you go. 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, and up. Release. And
as I said before, growing up, all I did was classical ballet, story ballets, Nutcracker, Swan Lake, Coppelia, Cinderella. Because this is so different from that, I was definitely scared and a very timid dancer coming into the space, because everything that we did was so eye-opening to me in the way that I was like, there's definitely no way that I'm strong enough to do this. I can't perform this way. It's not something I was used to doing before. Everything else was very delicate. It was a story. So, going into my 4th year, looking at the rep that I've done and the rep that I'm willing to do now, it's like amazing that 4 years ago I was looking at it with such fear of, I'm just not capable of performing of my best ability doing this. And now, thank you.
One day during Dissonance Dance Theatre's rehearsals, when we were downtown at Flashpoint, a dear friend and former Alvin Ailey dancer came to visit me. He had heard about the company and wanted to see. That dancer was Ralph Glenmore, a fellow teaching artist and supporter of Dissonance Dance Theatre at the time. I told the company about him, so he came. He told us a story about how Alvin Ailey started in a small studio with big-hearted dancers and minimal resources. The story really hit home for all of us. We didn't have much. The dancers were coming from far distances, as far as Richmond and as high up from Philly just to get an opportunity to start their careers. His words, gave us, drive and, for us to continue to build the company. Ralph said that the Ailey dancers made it and so could Dissonance.
Rising above adversity, and with the help of DDT's former general manager, Jonathan Carrington, Dissonance Dance Theatre became a fiscally sponsored project of the New York Foundation for the Arts in 2009, providing a way for fundraising efforts. Shortly after, the community began to materialize. Dissonance Dance Theatre's community engagement efforts brought new artists and new supporters to progress its positioning.
Today we're going for several different looks. We're doing a traditional pullback clean look with hair and makeup, and then we're going for like a trashy Barbie look, and then we're doing like an urban heroes look, which breaks down to like 90s hip hop versus Vidal Sassoon.
Two artists assisted Dissonance Dance Theatre to reach new levels of artistic innovation: Russian-American photographer Sergei Apasov and theatre design professional Chris Holland. Sergei and Shawn's photographic collaboration placed DDT into a new level of brand recognition and visibility in the DC dance sector. Short and Holland first worked together on Dissonance Dance Theatre's first NYC touring engagement at the Brooklyn Arts Exchange.
DC doesn't care about DC artists unless you've produced in New York City. That's just a fact.
At the age of 30, Shawn toured Dissonance Dance Theatre to New York City, premiering a full evening of dance choreographed by himself. Short also composed a new musical score for the event as well.
DC is a town that loves imports. It's not like New York City, where they look within the city for fresh talent. The more you tour outside DC, the more DC believes you have value. It's just the truth. I was 30 years old when Dissonance Dance Theatre toured to New York City that season. It was scary to present in New York City, but I'm an Aries, I'm a gamer and I love a challenge. Most Black choreographers have limited institutional resources to develop their talents, in a serious way. I knew I wanted to be a professional choreographer and I needed to test my skills.
You didn't meet him because he sent the video. But I'm trying to, he's in Germany right now, so I'm trying to figure out that his schedule to see if he can come. I like that.
I found my window today. Yeah. But Christine and Jasmine, I think we just gotta play with our spacing with the trio. From the top, 5 and 6, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, go 1, go 3, go 5 and 7, go 1, go 3 up 4, go 5. Hit the passe on the foot, back it up, 5, 6 and 8.
That was the question I had. I wasn't sure if it's supposed to be a rhyme or stay at 5th or if it's down to 4th.
5. So, ladies, we're going to go 1, 2, 5%, 3, 4. Make this associate 5.
Honing his artistic skills paid off for Mr. Short. Shawn received Point Magazine's Video of the Month Editor's Choice Award in 2013 for his contemporary ballet, Court, featuring DDT soloist Caitlin Granville. Short is the first African-American dance artist from Washington, D.C. to receive this honor.
Very physical work. It's definitely the most physical dancing I've ever had to do in my career. And it wasn't really about what size you were. It was more about how, if you were capable of doing the movement.
Caitlin, better known as Kate, was God sent, man. Yes, she was. She was right on time.
There were even people that would say, oh, Kate could be perfect if she could just lose 10 more pounds, but even Shawn knew that if I were like that, I wouldn't have the strength that I had. And he would prefer the strength over me being this big and not being able to bring that to the stage.
Kate never complained when she first came to me. She, said that she was too tall and no one was going to hire her. I didn't believe that. Kate was beautiful and still is. She was like 5'8", 5'9", but it didn't matter. She was everything you would want in a dancer: stature, discipline, and poise, with an eagerness that was wonderful to watch grow. It was a great journey with Kate. We had a lot of fun times and a lot of cries together.
Tell me, oh, you don't really like to be vulnerable, do you? I remember that, and he's right. I love just smiling and doing all those happy numbers. And then he really pushed me with that solo caught. And I still remember that rehearsal where I finally just broke down in tears afterwards. And it was just that first time I was able to reach a new level in my dancing. And it's definitely something I've been able to bring with me through my whole career. I get a lot of very dark rules now, and it's very different from when I started.
I remember when Kate auditioned for Susan Farrell Ballet, and she made it. She made it through, she made it through to the next round. Callbacks were the same day. And she contacted me to tell me, of her achievement, but decided not to continue the audition to seek a space, that was more nurturing. After 5 seasons with Dissonance Dance Theatre, Kate landed a position with Virginia Ballet Theatre. But always reminds me that Dissonance Dance Theatre was key to her new dance home. Kate reminded me that choreographers learn just as much as dancers if there's a great relationship. And that was me and my Caitlin.
I was training with Shawn at Catholic in ballet, and I very quickly approached and finished my dance requirement, as they called it. But I really wanted to work more, and Shawn made it clear that if we really wanted to do this, we needed to work more and continue dancing and continue training. So when he offered me to apprentice with Dissonance and be able to rehearse with them and work with them, I jumped at it. The training and the dancing and the rehearsals and the photo shoots, it was all organized by Shawn, and we just kind of followed wherever he went. He had a mission, he had a plan from the beginning, and it showed. So happy to have him at the show and kind of seeing the fruits of his labor, because again, there's no way I would have gotten where I had gotten to without Shawn and Dissonance.
Through Shawn's professorship at the Catholic University of America, Dissonance Dance Theatre began music collaborations with ensembles on and outside the campus. Dr. Andrew Simpson, the head of Catholic University's Rome School of Music Composition Department, became the first to work with Shawn after meeting him in the hallways after classes. From choral to experimental music, Short choreographed a range of works featuring the sounds of some of Washington, D.C.'s talented musicians: Georgetown Quintet, Atlantic Reed Consort, and blues alley band Sin Qua Non, raising awareness of the company. Furthering his ability to grow as a dance educator, Short attended the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, receiving his Master's in Fine Arts in 2013. The timing was golden for Shawn due to unforeseen circumstances. Challenges with an unforgiving director, including a meeting with HR professionals, led to Shawn deciding to resign after 7 years from the Catholic University of America, due to a hostile work environment brought on by racial comments from the musical theatre chair at the time. Shawn utilized his limited resources provided at the time to finish rehearsals for drum.
I wanted to shine light on the great dance legacy we have here in DC. It took me several years to piece together a timeline of DC Black dance history, the first of its kind. A lot of Black history is oral, taught by griots, or folks that know, or elders. But a lot of our dance elders are passing on. When I created the production Drum, I wanted to, show the world or have the world experience DC Black dance history and its inspiration on the artists that lead and contributed to the artistic greatness which DC had for a very long time, especially during its golden years. Many of those former teachers of mine didn't come to see the show, even after I invited them. No one responded to emails, even if they were personally sent to them. But the show still went on.
After the sold-out dance performance that Short worked hard to produce, the white hegemonic dance critic community presented a conflicting review, stating Shawn Short's dancers were great and delivered a range of choreography with ease. Unfortunately, the critic believed Shawn to be unfit as a director due to a delayed lighting moment by the stage manager. It is known in theatre that once a show opens, the stage manager runs the show, not the artistic director.
Right. I've been with Dissonance Dance Theatre for about 8 years now, but I took a small break. The experience I had before was very communal, but here Shawn wants us to live up to a certain standard, and he give us the information and the tools to try to reach up to that standard. The experience has been great. Shawn has made me feel comfortable with being a straight male doing ballet. Also make me feel like it's okay to be vulnerable and not put a facade up and just be myself.
Gifted young dancer, an eager young man, tired of community dance classes, approaches Short about his male dancer program. He comes to know Shawn and Dissonance Dance Theatre through word of mouth, who just wanted to dance. Shawn is informed through the local dance community that the young man had passed away. This caused an emotional blow to Short's efforts, as he was professionally training male dancers. A final blow occurs to Dissonance Dance Theatre's growth in 2016. The place they called home since 2007 has been sold without notice or warning. This resulted in Dissonance Dance Theatre cancelling engagements and company activities.
I remember grabbing a Washington City paper issue and reading that Flashpoint DC was closing. No one told us. We weren't informed at all. All I kept seeing was the memories of all the successful strides we made as an artist family. The laughs, the hard work, and even the losses. After I found out about the selling of the building and its closing, I just walked into the office of the executive director at the time, because it was right there. Once you walk through that front door, make the left and make a right, the door was always open. And I, asked about the closing and expressed, that we, had nowhere to go. We were essentially homeless. Now I thought we had been, at Flashpoint for over 9 years, and that we had some type of relationship as a part of the Flashpoint DC family. Guess not. The executive director at the time, a Black woman, just looked at me and told me to just find my champion, as she says. Find your champion, Shawn, that would assist your organization. Now, at the time, square footage, if you were trying to look for space, was around $75 a square foot in DC. If you were trying to, lease something, especially in that area. The company at the time could barely afford $7 a square foot. So I'll let you do the math on that. Champion or no champion.
So I was a homeowner in Washington, D.C., Southeast Washington, D.C. for about 15 years. And it was a great time. I lived in Ward 7 over in ANC 7E. 7E01 was where I was ANC commissioner. The area was over near Fort DuPont Park. I think they call the park Fort Circle Park, but didn't really know anybody in DC. And so to go into Conqueron and go to their community classes, that was how I started dancing. But the thing that I really appreciate about its founder and artistic director, Shawn, is that he has a respect and appreciation and a value for all forms of Black dance, whether it's hip hop, whether it's ballet, whether it's modern, contemporary, and African, right? What he will do is, okay, I understand the importance of the African diaspora. So let me make sure that my young people are exposed to the best. Let me make sure that I bring this African dance teacher in there. Let me make sure that I bring this modern dance teacher in there. Let me make sure that I bring this hip hop dance teacher in there to make sure that my dancers are well-rounded enough so that when they leave here, the only thing that's going to keep them from an opportunity is the effort that they put into it. So DDT has a special place in my heart because they, without the support of DDT, Kofago Dance Ensemble, the company that I have now, wouldn't even exist, right? Back in 2015, I was in a place where I wanted to create art. And the art that I wanted to create was in protest to what was going on with the Black Lives Matter movement and Black men just getting killed, just it was bad, right? So I was like, you know what, I have a story to tell. And I need brothers to help me tell this story. So what ended up happening, I put out a wanted ad for dancers, Black male dancers, but there's not a lot of us out here, right? So probably 2 dancers answered the wanted ad. And the 2 dancers that answered it, they didn't even really have like a dancing background. I was like, look, I'll train you, right? So I was on a call with Shawn and I'm telling him like, man, it's just hard to get brothers out here. And in that space, we had a really good conversation. He was like, well, I got some dancers here and, we're not in season right now. So, you can use them if you want. I was like, what? So that was really, really cool. It was 4 of them. And granted, it took some training because they were coming from a ballet / modern aesthetic, but they got it. And the reason why they got the choreography was because of how Shawn trains his dancers. I'm eternally grateful for Shawn and DDT because that was the first time that I was able to put out work under the name of Kofago Dance Ensemble. And at that time, it was an all-male dance troupe. And the reason why that's so important is because once I relocated up to New York, I had another opportunity to work with some young dancers. This time, it was young women who also had their Me Too experiences, and that took them away from the dance floor. But, I was able to gather them together, and in gathering them together, that was the second iteration of Kofago Dance.
Dissonance Dance Theatre, which is black managed under Shawn Short, found itself in what was thought to be an unsupported space. Not fully white, nor black, as it wished to connect two worlds as it continued its development. To Dissonance Dance Theatre's surprise, its initial growth was increased through the help of white men who believed in the vision Shawn put forth. Ryan Turk, Davy Brunn, Florian Rouillet, and Adam Sage.
Slide her on the floor and lift. Anyone can dance if you want to do it badly enough. And yes, there are aesthetics that have to be followed. But there are a lot of dancers across our country, not only our country, across the world. They don't necessarily always fit into whatever that mold is that the ballet world has made. And it's wonderful for anyone to have in their community somewhere where dancers can come to train and to hone their skills and either stay here to continue to dance or to go somewhere else to continue to dance. But someone has to make that a possibility. Otherwise, you left with a bunch of young people who feel like they don't have anywhere to go, and so they end up either quitting or they end up leaving it with a bad taste in their mouth, and that's not good for the art form on any front. So I think it's real important for organizations like this to exist that are open to all who are interested. Obviously, you have to be of a certain caliber to dance with a company. But I know that Shawn also has a training center that he can work with younger people that want to get to this place. So I think it's very valuable.
Inspired by the ballet works of David Dawson, George Balanchine, Helgi Thomasson, and Matthew Bourne, Shawn Short wanted to make his mark on the world of ballet. Short's choreography can be quick, emotional, regal, and tender. As the principal choreographer of Dissonance Dance Theatre, Short has created a canon of more than 120 dance works that range from minimalistic solos to full evening contemporary and classical ballets.
Yeah, I get late with the leg because it's late.
Okay.
Once I go here, I am here, I am here. There you go.
Seeing no solid path for black classical choreographers to hone their craft, develop their skills, and grow, believing in the notions, build it, and they will come. Short knew he had to create a space for choreographers to grow.
We can do this, and we're allowed to do this, and it's okay to do this.
I think without a community, no man survives alone. So I think there's so many different things and so many different organizations and so many different people doing different things. And I think, you got one organization, Shawn Short's organization, an example, trains young Black women that one day, hopefully my company will be able to hire.
Someone came up, I told them I was a ballet dancer, and they said, "Oh, I didn't know we did that." As if another Black band saying, "I didn't know our people did that." Yeah, we do, and I'm not the only one. Yes, it was rare to him, but this is something that we can do, and we are doing, and that was the first time he had ever seen or heard of someone doing that.
Sometimes I get slack for not having, a large roster of Black female dancers, and it's not that I haven't tried. If you enjoy the work that, we do at Dissonance Dance Theatre, I don't really care what color you are. Black people participating in the ballet dance industry may feel like a bit of a conundrum at times. I mean, inherently European in origin, ballet has combined like Black dance vernacular to modernize its style. Isolations, change of the hands, the hips, ask George Balanchine, he did this often. Over the years, to me, ballet seems to be, a hallmark of white society, but not so much for Black people, even though we enjoy seeing ballet on stage with us doing it. Yet many Blacks want ballet dancers, diversity, but audiences and communities believe that, well, not all, but some believe that they need to support ballet on a larger scale, a traditional scale, to achieve success and to keep it thriving. I believe the door of opportunity needs to be open by us around diversity within the Black ballet experience. With new works, new choreographers celebrating Black innovation in the field, in the craft of what ballet is. All we would need is a network of 10 or more Black managed ballet companies working together. It would be wonderful. I can dream, that would create a large, employment pool. Especially if the companies work together, not being crabs in a barrel, fighting for resources. But it doesn't seem like Black folks are interested in that. It seems like they're more interested in social dances or social dance trends on TikTok, But I still remain optimistic for the future because we need to if we're going to keep this dream alive.
Put this one down. So the goal for her is to get here on both shoes. So as you're in your shoes, go forward, start both feet. So as you're in both shoes and you press over, when you come back up, stretch out. The goal is for her not to go past here and to get up. That's you on top of your shoe, and this is you not on top of your shoe. Get it? So also the thing you don't want to do is this. So stretch both your legs. Is that. It's where you're leaning on the edge of your shoe when you should be feeling the back sides of your shoes.
Mr. Short, he is a director, but he's also an educator first. So it's a lot of learning, it's a lot of information that he gives us and how to critique our body, and the information he gives us helps us with the longevity of our career. And I think that's why I've been here for so long, is because I put so much trust in this man that it's hard for me to trust anybody else with my body. I know this sounds a little selfish.
Through his reputation as a master teaching artist in the area, Shawn was contacted by Michael Bobbitt, a theatre director and artistic director of Adventure Theatre. Michael needed assistance with Musical Theatre Centre, a recent business Adventure Theatre acquired. He needed Shawn to assist with developing the new curriculum, staff, and student population development. Short developed Bobbitt's organisational programming for several years. Short's bartered deal provided new rehearsal studios for the newly homeless Dissonance Dance Theatre.
As a graduate student in dance at UWM, I received a phone call from Michael Bobbitt telling me he needed my help to build his new program since they acquired Musical Theatre Center. Michael was the artistic director of Adventure Theatre in Rockville. He had removed 90% of the staff and asked me if I could give him a hand to, help rebuild his new MTC program that he had. This was a great opportunity for Dissonance to acquire a new rehearsal space since we were homeless, at a discounted price since I was going to be faculty there. So I took the position as Adventure Theater's MTC's first head of dance. And the rest is history. I've taught arts programs all across the DC area, from elementary school to college to internationally recognized arts organizations to community organizations. I've had students become successful on Broadway, national, international tours, TV, and even Universal Soul Circus.
I feel like my experience being under Shawn Short's direction during my time at Catholic definitely aided me as an artist. Not only did I have someone rooting for me, did I have someone cheering for me, did I have someone pushing me, but I had someone that I could confide in when I couldn't talk to the rest of my peers or any other faculty member. Even to this day, I am years removed from Catholic University of America. I'm not gonna tell my age, but I'm years removed, and I can call and text him at any time and say, hey, I can't get this step, or hey, I just got this audition, or hey, how are you doing? Hey, I'm having a hard day. Can you just lend an ear? And he has become much more than just my professor. He has become a mentor and a friend, and has really come along on this journey with me from being a student to being a professional artist today. And a lot of teachers don't do that. You have them for 4 years and then you never talk to them again. But he has been an integral part of every step of the way, every show that I've booked, every audition. He has been there coaching me, helping me, encouraging me. So I'm so grateful for our relationship and how it has blossomed from, it's still a student-teacher relationship, but it has blossomed into a wonderful adult artist-to-artist situation. And I am forever indebted to him.
Make it easy for yourself. If you think push, pull your opposite shoulder, find the leg. So you went push, pyramid, close, finish the step. Pull your ribs back and let the middle of your back go backwards. That keeps your back straight and your leg where it is. Close from there, Shawn, change the standing leg, because this would be what? That would be your standing leg. And then from there, oscillate, see where you're going, close back from here, pop open. Close, shift. See it, close, pull up. And you go, baby.
But there wasn't a local dance company with funding for all these artists, the students that I've had to permanently be in, that held a large balletic brown and black dancer representation in the DC area. What I did notice was the outreach programs across the region made crazy money for the leading white organizations, typically serving brown and black students, that sometimes wanted to be students in those organizations' top programs. But they were never going to get there because they're broke. And no one likes you when you're broke. They just don't care. But they need you to make their money. I wanted those black and brown children to have the opportunity, at a high level. I don't know. As a teaching artist in many arts organizations, outreach programs, I noticed, the programs were watered down with students thinking that they, had a fighting chance, if they completed the program till the end. But they didn't. For example, in one organization, I'll stay nameless, in the main school, a student would have to master at least 6 to 10 components. Whereas in the outreach program, I mean, that was per year, but in the outreach program, it was only 3, 2 to 3 skills you had to master. When I changed the program curriculum in the outreach program I was in to make it so that the kids would be learning what the other school learned, I got reprimanded.
What I wanted to do was create change, 1. 2, I wanted to use dance as a vocational skill so that particularly kids of color would have a way of jumping into concert dance.
The parents believed that they were going to be learning just as much as the other space. I mean, the students thought they were learning in a professional learning environment based on the company's marketing, for the programs they were in. Eventually, I just stopped. I just stopped teaching for other organizations and just focused on my own vision, because that's what they say to do anyway. No one looked at the arts, especially dance, as a vocational skill, but I did.
Well, when you went through the step, I think you're going to want to take another step. It looks like you're going to need another one.
Do we have to go to Europe to find inspiration in ballet, or can I be a voice here and create that work here without going somewhere else? Which I do.
The thing, I mean, I really love big band because it allows me to live my best Balanchine life. So it's true. It's just the quickness and the being really light on your feet and the character. I live for that. So Shawn allows me to get that part of me on stage.
You are an enabler.